Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining our presentation. Today we will be talking about an academic article taken from jesmat. The author of the article is Muhammad Rizal Usman, Andi Ripakutu Patalo, and Jadir. And the title is Mathematical Communication Ability Analysis Student of Linear Program Material. Our presentation will be divided into several parts, namely background, research objective, literature review, method. To begin with, I am Nurmasari will talk about research background and objective. Math is element important in education. Mathematics have an important role in various scientific disciplines and power development human thinking. Math directing students to think critical, detailed, systematic, logical, creative, and the ability to work together effectively. The ability to think formed from mathematics learning direct used to think rational. Yuhrani 2017. According to NCTM Rahmawati 2019, there are 5 competitions in learning Matematika, namely solving mathematical problems, mathematical communication, mathematical reasoning, mathematical connection, and mathematical representation. The one that need to be considered from the 5 competitions, it is communication skill mathematical. From various material mathematical that is studied according to Yuliani 2018. Linear program is quite difficult mathematical model material and requires communication skill high math to be able understandable. So ability mathematical communication play a very important role in completing the material linear programming. Linear programming is one of the learning mathematics class 9 student in the subject compulsory math. According to Yuliani 2018, linear program is a model material quite difficult math as well requires skill level high communication to be able understandable. Therefore, the ability mathematical communication is very important. Important is completing the material linear programming. Based on the result of interview with the teacher at school pointed at round 1 class 9 MIPA at SMA Negeri 1 Pangkep, students have problem in solve question about linear program material which requires skill high mathematical communication because lack of understanding of the concept and form of the question verbal of story. It fits with several reported cases by teams about long learning outcomes, students about presenting questions that requires communication skills, student mathematics in translating story question into a mathematical model of language form. Therefore, the researcher would like to know and study to what extent mathematical communication skill experienced by students in solving problem questions on linear program material. In this study, I'm to analyze the mathematical communication abilities of class 9 students of SMA Negeri 1 Pangkep on the linear program material. Next part is mathematical communication skill will be presented by Kusmia.
First, mathematical communication skill. Mathematical communication skill are divided into two, namely according to Barerson and Steiner and Solikha. Communication according to Barerson and Steiner is the process of transmitting information, idea, emotion, skill, and so on by using symbol, word, picture, graphic, or number. Communication is a way of sharing idea, and clarify understanding. Through communication of ideas can be mirrored, improved, discussed, and developed. Communication process to have real meaning and permanent idea and can explain the idea. Ring to Soliha, mathematical communication skill can defined as an ability that owned by someone or student in convey, express, interpret, explain, or describe an information, message, understanding, argument, mathematical idea from one person to another using symbol, number, picture, or graphic, both orally and in writing in solving problem mathematics. Indicator mathematical communication skill. A. Declare real object situation and daily event into form of mathematical model, feature, table, graph, algebra, expression. B. Explain mathematical idea and model. Feature, table, graph, algebra, expression into ordinary language. C. Explain and ask question mathematical learning. D. Listening, discussing, and reading about math. E. Reading with and understanding written achievement, and F. Conjecture, composite argument, formula, definition, and generalization.
Next is linear program and research method will be presented by Ayu Septiani.
Okay, here I will continue the second discussion, namely linear program. Linear program is a method of determining the optimum value, maximum or minimum. So, linear program is a method for determining the optimal, maximum or minimum value of a linear problem, which is generated from the values in a set of solutions for a linear problem. Program completion linear is closely related to the ability to sketch the set area system solution. Linear program too requires the ability to convert story language into mathematical language or mathematical models in the form of human reasoning and translate the problem into mathematical form, e.g. in variables x and y so that it can be solved. Then, the third discussion is research methods. The first part is types of research. The type of research in this study is a qualitative research with a descriptive approach. It aims to find out and examine student mathematical communication skills in solving problems in the materials program material. Second part, research time and place. This research was carried out at Senior High School 1 Pangkep in the odd semester of the academic year 2020 to 2021. Third part, research subject. Subjects in this study totaling 3 students of class 11 MIPA Senior High School Negeri 1 Pangkep, namely 1 student with high academic scores, 1 student with moderate academic value, and students with low academic scores. The subject is selected based on the student's mathematics academic value with the I teacher's consideration maths. The fourth part is research procedure. The research procedure carried out was to ask for permission from the head of the UVT Senior High School 1 Pangkep, then make observation and then communicate with the teacher in the field of study. After that, design research instruments that will be used in research. The fifth part is research data. Data obtained from the test results, mathematical communication skills, and interviews. To find out the mathematical communication skills of class 11 students of Senior High School 1 Pangkep in general, the data obtained will be processed according to the mathematical communication scoring guidelines. The sixth part is research instruments. The instruments used are written tests and interviews to find out and examine skills student mathematical communication. The test is in the form of a description of 3 questions, including determine the settlement area, the optimum value, and the solution of the optimum value by using graphs. Tests done to obtain student ability data communication in completing questions that are seen from the result of the answers that are done. 4 interviews in this research was conducted to explore students' answers when working on question a test of student mathematical communication skills. The form of the interview used in this research is unstructured. The seventh part is data analysis techniques. The stage in technical data analysis are correcting and identifying the level of students' mathematical ability at given test. The results of the next answer are recorded and qualified based on indicators of mathematical communication skills, then conclude from all indicators to determine the level of students' mathematical communication skills. Next, the researcher synchronized the results of the interviews with the test result that had been found. This difficulty will be further research material for researchers to improve their ability in mathematical communication and solve it based on the result of student test answers.
The next is research result and discussion will be explained by Njum Apriyanti.
Next, I will discuss about the result of research and discussion. First, express real object daily situation and event into the form of mathematical models, image, tables, graphs, algebraic expression, pairs. Second, explain the ideas and the math model, image, table, graph, algebraic expression into the ordinary language. Third, explain and create mathematical questions to that. Fourth, listen, discuss, and write about mathematics. Fifth, reading with the understanding of a written achievement. And sixth, creating concepts, arranging arguments, formulate definition and generalization. Next, in the number one amount by 23% is the achievement of mathematical communication capabilities that are in low category. In the test results of number one showing the achievement of students generally affirms real estate the situation and if everyday events into the form of mathematical model in shape of algebraic expression. Students who have academic values have a better understanding among students who have medium and low academic values. However, in general, students of class 9 SMA Negeri 1 Pangkep lacks an understanding in linear program material. Problem number 2 by 16% is the achievement of mathematical communication capabilities that are in low category. In the test number of 2 showing the achievement of students lacking the ability to explain the mathematical model, especially the graphical math model. Students have difficulty understanding the graphics of granted presented due to the lack of understanding of the linear program material that becomes a reference in this study. Lack of understanding in this linear program material makes students difficulty in making connections, arranging arguments, but some of them are able to formulate definition and generalization. Problem number 3 of 42% is the achievement of mathematical communication capabilities that are in the medium category. In the test result shows the achievements of students are generally able to understand the intent of mathematical model of the table and is able to explain and make questions based on the table. But percent success in students who have low academic value despite understanding the purpose of the table, but less capable of streaming the sentence in making questions based on the table. Second, reading with comprehension or written achievement. Ability test result data and age mathematical communication is lacking able to understand the content of the question and have misunderstanding for finish it. Next, analysis of communication skills mathematical subject that has value higher academic and first, explaining ideas and models mathematics into everyday language. Among others, research data test showed that the subject of N unable to explain in a graph into everyday language. Next, based on research data interview shows that the subject of N able to explain mathematical models in the form of a graphic into the language every day but have some doubt in understanding that have. Second, creating conjectures, arranging arguments, formulating definition and generalization. Among others, the results of the NNN subject tests are not able to make conjectures, construct arguments, formulate definition and generalization. Next, based on interview data, it is sensed that the previous NNN subject unable to make a conjecture after a full question related failed. Third, listening, discussion, and reading about math. Among others, based on test results, mathematical communication skills, and shows being able to write about math. Based on the results of the interview, subject NNN is able to hear the intent research questions well and able to discuss related issues along with the answer. Next, here is the subject's answer and age at number 1 is presented in this research. In question number 1, which has been done by the subject, will represent 3 communication skill indicator. Mathematics is to express things real, everyday situation and even in the form of a mathematical model. Reading with an understanding of a written achievement as well as listening, discuss and write about math with detailed analysis as follows. First, declare real things, everyday situation, and events in the form of a mathematical model, vectors, tables, diagrams, graphs, algebraic expression. From the test results given by NHH researchers can only communicate understanding related to question in the form of equation. Linear to variables, but understanding only and describe it in the form of less algebraic expression where is an HH subject write down. Second, reading with comprehension or written achievement. Ability test result data and HH mathematical communication is lacking able to understand the content of the question and have misunderstanding for finish it. Based on interview data, it is seen that an HH subject are less able to understand the problem so that it is wrong in the solution. Third, listening, discuss, and writing about math based on ability test results, mathematical communication subject, and HH demonstrates being able to write about mathematics. Based on interview data, even though the NHH subject was able to listen to each question with good, but not able to discuss well for lack of understanding of the materials, mathematics, especially program material linear. Next, analysis of mathematical communication skills of subjects who have low academic scores (IVN). Here are the answers to the IVN subject on number 3 is presented in this study. In question number 3, which has been done by the subject, will represent the indicator of mathematical communication skills, namely explain and ask questions, the mathematics studied, as well as listen, discuss, and write. Next, analysis of mathematical communication skills of subjects who have low academic scores (IVN). First, explain and create learned math questions. Based on test results data communication skills of IVN subject only write down the details of the contents of the table accompanied by question in the form of algebraic expression. Based on the interview data, it can be seen that the subject of IVN is less capable compose sentences in making questions. Next, analysis of mathematical communication skills of subject who have low academic scores IVN. Second, listening, discuss, and writing about mathematics. Based on the results of the interview test, it can be seen that the IVN subject is able to write about mathematics. The subject is able to write down the details of the table into a mathematical model in the form of algebraic expression. Based on the achievement of each indicator of mathematical communication skills. Communication skills studied mathematics is still relatively low.
The last conclusion, based on the result and discussion, it can be concluded that students have low mathematical communication skill. That's all our presentation. Thank you for your nice attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.